It is when people are involved that we have good government. Hi, this is Barbara Ehardt, and I am running for Idaho Falls City Council. And I believe that the ultimate power resides in the people themselves. It is only when our government is accessible and responsive to the people that we are truly representative. That means, as your city councilman, I must have more than just an open ear. I must always be accountable to you, my friends and neighbors. The term transparency has been thrown around a lot, but I believe elected officials must encourage people to be a part of the decision-making process and not just to merely inform you of that which was passed after the fact. As your city councilman, I will work hard to keep you informed of current issues and to ensure that you have a voice in our city government. On November 3rd, vote Barbara Ehardt, City Council Seat 6.
Paid citizens for Barbara Ehardt, Clay Murdoch, Treasurer.
All right, it's time to get to our interview here with Barbara Ehardt. Barbara is running for the City Council in Idaho Falls. Barbara, good morning. Appreciate you being with us.
Oh, thanks so much. I really appreciate you letting me come in. Thank you.
Well,
we're delighted to have you, Barbara. I wish we'd get all of the candidates all across the area there, but with those who call and ask at the time, that's where you're one of the first ones.
Thanks.
Now, Barbara, you've been a part of the Republican Women's Organization for a while, so there's a few people that know you, but there's still a lot that aren't familiar with you. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you interested in running for politics.
Well, I think it's important to know that I was born and raised here in Idaho Falls, and I, spent 15 years of my life. I played collegiate league basketball, and I spent 15 years of my life as a women's Division I basketball coach. And I decided to return to Idaho Falls in 2003 because I love it here. I love it here because I love the people. But, as far as what got me interested in politics, I have always been politically inclined. And as you go along, sometimes it's difficult to sit back and just watch things when you perceive them being done incorrectly. And I think as much as anything, loving this great city, concerned about many things, including, our taxes and our cost of living, I thought I'd get involved.
That's a good enough reason in my mind. When a person has the feeling in there, it takes a commitment, though. And that's the thing, that to finally say, I'm going to do it, and then you get in and you say, do I do the right thing? How do you feel right now that you're in the middle of a campaign, it's coming to the end, it's around the corner? How do you feel about having been involved so far?
You know what? This has been an absolutely wonderful experience. You certainly learn a lot. You learn a lot about the city, and you learn a lot about campaigning. Right now, I really feel good about that, which we've done. We definitely have momentum. You can feel it. People are excited. People are coming, joining us left and right, both with their support, with their monetary support. People are excited. And to be honest, I believe my opponent feels this. So we need to just keep going this last week. And as much as anything, those people who would be inclined to feel and vote the way that I would, the way that, my team does, we need to make sure that we get you out there, that you join us, that you vote. We cannot take this for granted. This is not going to be an easy fight or finish to the end here, and we need to make sure that we have everyone's support that's inclined to do so.
Let's talk about some of the issues, some of the things that you see are important that are coming up in this race.
Great. Without a doubt, I am a fiscal conservative. And what does that mean? That means that I am someone who wants to see us cut spending and cut taxes, especially, and this is what I've been saying over and over and over, especially in these tough economic times. I mean, if we as individuals, if we as families are being asked and forced to tighten our belts, to tighten our budgets, for heaven's sakes, the city should be expected to do nothing less. They need to do the same thing, and that's not happening. My opponent in particular, and I think I'm doing a good job of pointing this out, she is absolutely in favor of taxes, and she equates taxes to her quality of life, the things that the government can do for us. And that's not me. I came back to Idaho Falls because I love the quality of life here. But to me, what is it that makes up our quality of life? For me, the quality of life are the people by whom I'm surrounded. And when we talk about the differences between my opponent, myself, and the things that I'm really touting, let me take, starting for example, with the Hit Road project. That is something in which I completely disagree. I would not have moved forward on the Hit Road without first having secured Ammon and making sure that they were on board, because that just cost our taxpayers, the taxpayers of Idaho Falls, $850,000. And then on the other side, what has happened recently with the Fars property purchase? I mean, let's be very clear about it. We did, as a city, we did not get our own appraisal. That is not how you handle business. There is not a businessman out there who would take the appraisal of the seller, because everyone knows, everyone that understands business knows that the seller is going to get the very best possible price. And so as we look at that potentially cost the taxpayers anywhere from $100,000 to $300,000. Now let me make it clear too, I'm not saying, and never have, that Fars purchase wasn't a good one. Okay, we very certainly want the property, and that may have been a great price, which we paid. But as city officials, we have to be above board in making sure we're transparent and making sure we do our due diligence. That's what you do to make sure, especially with all the connections there.
So what you're saying is a recent appraisal that they did not have, is that what you're saying?
That is correct. The city relied on the appraisal of the seller. They did not get their own appraisal, and you don't do that. You need to get your own appraisal. You need to know what you're buying. You need to get the square footage right, which wasn't done also, and then what happens from there, we can all feel good about it. And, like I said, I'm not saying it wasn't the right thing to do, but you need to stay above board. And, just right there again, this money that we're throwing around, that may not mean, much to my opponent, maybe $850,000 there or $100,000 to $300,000 there when we're dealing with a $159 million budget. But to me, and I think to the taxpayers, that's a heck of a lot of money. And, it matters to us. It matters to me.
Barbara, you're talking about the Hit Road. About 40 years ago, I was mayor of Ammon. I was on a regional committee, and we sat down and decided to put a loop road out around the Idaho Falls area. And it was to be Hit Road. And, it's taken 40 years to get that done now.
Oh, my goodness.
These things get planned a long time ahead.
Oh, my goodness,
When
yes.
I saw that road, I thought, it's about time.
Right. No, and again, we just need to make sure we do our due diligence and we keep, like the city of Ammon on board with us.
Well, Barbara, we're down to our last minute here.
Okay.
So if people want to find out more about you, how you believe on certain issues, how can they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me. Certainly you could call me at 403-6686, but we prefer you go to the website at www.barbaraehardt.com. And, knowing that we are down to our last minute, we need your vote. We need you to get out. We need you to get your friends out. You've got to talk to your neighbors. Do not take this for granted. This is going to go down to the wire, and we need your support. Please, please, please get out and vote.
Well, Barbara, this is I'm pretty fast with a pencil, but give that number once again.
Oh,
I couldn't get past the first two digits.
I do speak quickly. That's a coaching thing. 403-6686.
Very good. Thank you.
Yes. I was just going to say that oftentimes we see less than 30% turnout on these types of elections. So get everybody out, talk to your friends and neighbors, get them out. I agree. That's an important thing to do. All right, Barbara Ehardt, running for City Council in Idaho Falls. Barbara, it's great having you here. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Want to wish you a lot of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara.